Hello everyone, we are back once again with more Rising Sun, the Black Crusade 40k game. It's been a while, like, what, before Christmas? Last one?
Yep.
A few weeks before Christmas.
There are two more Hydras in their campaign.
Oh jeez. We are stream sniping Sargon, so that's always good.
Yeah.
Because we're firm believers in quality content.
Yeah.
So sorry if I dab in on the stream.
No, that's
So you're
hilarious.
online?
Don't worry about it. Regardless.
The Chad Black Crusade party versus the Virgin D&D.
It means that people who are also are watching this, or who also in the past watched the game that's going on now, will be able to look at this VOD and think to themselves, I could be watching that shit instead of that shit.
Oof.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Oof.
But you play it.
Would any of you like to recap, or shall I just do it?
Not
I
sure.
wasn't there, so...
I could give it a try. I think I was there for.
It's mostly for Nollis's benefit, basically talk about vaguely what happened once the Dark Eldar were destroyed.
Yeah, once the Dark Eldar were destroyed. If I remember correctly, after we managed to deal with all of the Dark Eldar, we communicated with them, with their mothership, I suppose.
Yep.
And managed to set up the beginnings of a trade deal with the Eldar.
Yep.
And that was beyond that. After we managed to do that, we found that a planet in the solar system we had transported to was seemingly populated by what we found signs might be a chaos affiliated hierarchy, I guess.
That's right. You arrived in the Araxes system, and you are specifically, your ship is currently in dock over the space station near on orbit of Araxes 4. Which is
Araxes 4?
Yep.
Yeah, Araxes 4 we found was owned by the Iron Warriors. Which is not to be confused with the Iron Legion or any similar sounding name. And we have now, the last I remember is that we came to the planet, landed there as guests of the Iron Warriors, and began exploring the city a bit before we've ended the session in a bar.
That's
I need to drink.
pretty much it. And what I'm going to say happened is, if all of you besides Gren and Han would like to drag your characters into the bar, just for
Yes, sir.
just for the sake of things, just so we know.
Gren?
You all basically reconvene at the bar. It is late in the afternoon. You're all sitting there having drinks. Nollis eventually. Sorry, what's saying else?
I just said we still haven't got me a proper icon, have we?
No, you're still the smiley and cat man with the bolter. So good.
Hang on, I'll have a dig and see if I've got something that would be useful.
So yeah,
I like it.
basically,
If I sorry.
yeah, basically you're all in this bar. You're filling Nollis in on some of the communiques, what happened, because the Iron Cyclops did a lot of the negotiating with Captain Malgus when he inspected your vessel. I forgot to mention that the Iron Warriors sent a delegation over basically before the vessel docked to make sure things were cool. Things were cool. You all part on good terms, and yeah, you're in the bar now. The Dark Cyclops has departed to tend to some other business on the planet, but you're all just chilling out in the bar, so what would you like to do now? You four.
let's continue to take the car.
Johanna is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, I should say this is like the next day. The car and the unfortunate Volks Grenadiers you fucking shanghaied are safely aboard your ship, still unconscious for a bit.
Oh yeah, we did that.
As is the
didn't we?
vehicle.
You guys did that, didn't you?
Yep.
So,
I like how they went from we did that to you did that very quickly, didn't it?
Well, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I had to
we-
roleplay
Oh,
Red's
there in
character. to
are we
pirate.
are we basically saying that I just got done with like administration shit and I just landed
Yeah,
and kind of
basically.
joined up with them?
You were too busy
Alright.
doing the paperwork because you're a true ANCAT man. You know that's important.
Okay, I actually happen to have a Iron Warrior with a massive hammer. Would that work for you?
We kind of need a Dark Apostle, like guy with a curse. Crosus Arcanum, where the fuck it's called. But like ANCAT colours.
I'll see what I've got.
Some kind of dark chaplain guy. That would work well. So,
Nothing.
yeah, you basically all just kind of reconvened here after filling us a little bit of what's going on. And now it's up to you what you want to do in this bar.
Civ is going to walk up and he's going to try to get a word in with the bartender and say, "Get me a drink, now!"
Of course, sir. He pours you a nice measure of Amsec and goes, "Here you are, sir."
Okay, should I roll anything?
No.
Or just exit?
You ask, and the barman says, "Compliments of the house for associates of the Great Iron Warriors Legion."
Ah, excellent. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
And it's just going to retreat
So you just down
into his drink.
another conversation. Well done,
Concept of
fucker.
that human ballsack just sitting back and just downing shots of paint thinner is worrying to me. And not just like there's being chaotic and there's being rude to the wait staff. Like there's a visible like look of what is this bitch doing on my face.
Oh, Jesus.
Renegades, not
He's-
degenerates.
He's a human ballsack. I don't think there's really a limit to what he.
I mean, he doesn't really care what he's drinking as long as he's just getting absent.
As long as he's getting some. Alright. Pasta's enjoying his drink, quote unquote. Ursula, Voss Ballard, and Nullus. What would you like to do?
Is he bringing drinks back for all of us, or did we send him up?
I hope not.
I mean,
I'll
Not my
buy.
intention, at least.
I'm gonna ask if I can buy a case of beer to bring back.
of course, sir. That'll be 5, what fucking currency do they use again? Thrones, yeah.
Do I
5 thrones.
do I have money?
Why not? it's
Sure.
5
then
thrones.
I give him. I pull 5 thrones out of my ass.
Thank you, sir.
Chaos uses throws as a currency.
And what he gives you, Nullus, is a massive crate of beer. Like 30, 20, 30 fucking high volume cans of it.
Yeet.
You can easily pick it up.
Thank you, bartender.
It's significantly heavier, though, than what a normal human would be able to normally pick up.
But I'm a strong ANCAT boy.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Well,
just
the
gonna sit
barman
on the.
struggled to like lift it up, but he
I'm
managed.
just gonna sit on the chair back here and kind of wait for everybody else to do their thing. Then.
His 50 thrones drive a pallet of beer up to the table. Bring it by a fucking forklift.
Yep. Pretty much.
I have assets for that.
Here's 50 thrones. Do you happen to have a dump truck?
I'll see what I can do. You kind of just. Excuse
That
me.
was a
moment.
joke. That was a joke.
This,
I'm
this
not
system
going to
doesn't
order
actually-
a dump truck of beer, okay?
You own a fucking ship, you probably could use a dump truck full of beer.
Shit, you're right, I guess. But
But you can't get drunk though.
yeah, I can't, but people in the ship can.
What
And
good
some of them are
Samaritan of an
probably
officer
very-
he is.
It's not like we let them drive.
Only thing you'll get drunk on is power.
He's a fucking space marine. I don't think he can get drunk on anything short than Region Ale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Which is
literally
actually just
nuclear
nuclear
fuel you're drinking.
Fuel, yeah. It's just a fuel rod with
kerosene.
the end ripped off. And a straw
Or
slotted
or massive amounts of obscura mixed in with some fucking warp dust.
Oof.
in. You need to be serious about your alcohol to get a space marine drunk.
So yeah, basically the barman's like, I can arrange for a larger supply of alcohol, should you wish it, sir. You have a ship,
do you
I
do
presume.
deliveries?
I can talk with my assistant. What ship are you?
The big ass one right there.
He'll point out the window and he'll be there.
I will need the name of the vessel at least. This is where Nollis doesn't know what the name of the ship is.
Red Sun, sir.
Yes.
The Red Sun.
Ah,
yeah.
Red Sun, the new vessel that
The one that I
arrived recently.
pilot. That is mine. But I don't know the name.
Oh, not to worry, sir. So, 50 thrones, please, for a large shipment of alcohol.
Here you go.
There you go. You give him 50 thrones.
That's some mental image of you just going up to the dude and just pimp handing him with 50 throws. Just
And a
dropping
power
it on.
gauntlets.
Roll a 1d10.
Alright, hold on. I'm just going to add this art to the stream. Jesus. It begins.
Okay, I got a suitably. It's one of those fucking. Oh, you clicked on it. Us. This is a download kind of dealies.
Oh dear.
I do hate those.
So I think Bill's trying to get smart on us.
Yeah, I got something. It's just a placeholder, but it'll do the job.
Hypnothorax says streaming during a Sargoy session, mad lads. Yeah, pretty much.
Like I said, we believe in quality here.
We believe in giving the people a better alternative.
If
Oh,
you watch
I'm-
if you watch Sargon's stream, you're either gay or you're ritualist.
Oof.
Let's be
It's not true. I'm gay as fuck and I'm here.
No,
I'll watch
you
that shit if I was
Sargon's
paid.
stream?
No. I can't.
Oh, then
It
exactly.
brings me physical pain.
Then exactly. Then there you go. It's like the square and rectangle thing.
Yeah,
All
actually-
Sargon viewers are gay, but not all gay people are Sargon viewers.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
you go.
mean,
I think they say the same about Islamic people, but I'm not so sure.
so
That's why there's a very subtle difference between someone who's homosexual and someone who's a fag.
Yes.
I
Precisely.
think that R will work for you. Nils.
Agreed.
Now available in Iron Warriors.
What artwork works for me?
The one above,
One above
what
the
I
one I just
posted.
made.
Well, either of them actually, to be fair.
Oh, am I getting pimped out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you could just be the ANCAP circle forever. If
I
you
kind of
prefer.
want to be the ANCAP.
Yeah, fuck it. Until we get something there, that'll do.
I'll
Like,
see what I can do.
like.
I'm just gonna type
honestly,
in
that.
right-wing death squads into Google and see what I find.
Like, the top one is good, and so is the bottom one. If that's also the one, you just need to like make it yellow and black, basically, and it'll be
You
great.
just need to change the color somehow with Photoshop, yeah.
I don't know how to do that though because I'm a plebeian.
I'll try something.
Photoshop is your friend.
So... Yeah, he's arranging a shipment, he basically says. It'll be, with you at least by tomorrow, sir. Thank you. He's just gonna
Alright.
send a massive shipment up. Okay. Do I have to tell you fuckers what to do?
To be fair, this hasn't really been going on for a while,
That's true. That is true. Okay. So,
especially for me.
what I'll say is you finish up your drinks, and then you come upon the inclination. Let us leave now. We've had enough.
You feel the time is right.
So be it.
Oof. Alright.
Ah, there's a shape. Oh, it went away.
And now, you find yourself outside once again in the markets. Please plonk yourself down around
Oh
here.
my gosh. It's an ANCAP paradise.
Yes.
Unironically.
Alright. As you wander through the markets thinking, what should we do this wonderful afternoon? You see a figure ahead of you. Would you please like to roll perception checks?
Perception or awareness?
Awareness, my apologies.
As Bill shakily attempts to remember how the system works. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nullus.
In this system, it's a big fail, right?
That's gay.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I drop one of the beer cans into my eyeball.
basically, yeah. Basically,
You
you're
crack
carrying
open
the
your
beer
booty.
crate.
I start chugging beer through my eyes.
You carry the
You
beer
crack open
crate and
some-
you stumble to try and look at something closer.
You crack open a can, and as it starts fizzing up, you put your mouth over the opening, but it gets in your eyes.
It seems that for once, Voss Ballard was the only one who succeeded and everyone else failed.
Yeah, and Voss
Well, one would
usually
hope.
has bad luck on perception, considering it's one of his best stats. Alright, so everyone else is just kind of distracted by the sights and smells of this marketplace. However, Voss, with his keen, trained eyes of being a marksman, manages to spot someone apart from the usual crowd. Voss, roll me a +20 common lore, war, or guard, whatever you prefer. Either or will work. The figure appears to be wearing the uniform of a Krieg guardsman, but he's a little bit different from the other Krieg guards, former Krieg guardsmen you've seen, who appear to be wearing like engineer, sapper uniforms and so forth, similar to the engineering corps in Krieg. This individual appears to be wearing something a bit nicer, a bit more finely tuned,
Concern.
almost like a specialist. Not quite an officer, but a specialist, you could say.
Like, are we talking like quartermaster gear?
Yeah, just about. Just about.
Concern.
And now, Gren, would you
Also,
roll me
I'm
a
not like
perception
other
check?
girls, says every Krieger girl that Voss has been through.
So, what did you say, Stu?
Please roll me a +20 perception check.
Jesus.
For some reason, you don't quite spot the lumbering space marine in yellow and black carrying a crate of beer as he lumbers towards you.
Oh, you know what? That's why I can't see, because the beer's in front of my eyes that I'm holding.
However, as they get closer,
Who's this person?
they almost pass you, and then you go, "Oh wait, it's those guys."
Hey, it's that
Who
dog.
is this? Who's this person?
Shame.
That would be
That's JJ.
that would be Jane.
Oh, right.
He's
So,
like John, but the opposite.
Gren,
Ah,
if you would
okay.
please do your thing that I said earlier, upon seeing the recipients
Yes.
of your task.
So as you walk up towards him, the figure will step a bit in front of your group and raise up a hand in a halt sort of signal.
Okay.
I'll nudge Nullus so that he knows to actually stop.
Okay.
Still carrying the beer.
Oh god, no, I'm just gonna be piloting him from his. I'm standing on his backpack, on his power pack. So I go,
You're like a
Yeah,
kid,
quite a bit.
and his dad's carrying the thing as well. Oh.
I've got the halfling harness rigged to his back. You know the one I mean.
Well, figure after seeing that you stop will say, "Good day to you," and he'll bow slightly. I have been looking for you for quite some time now.
Good day.
Lord
Fuck,
Galtrax.
yeah.
Lord Galtrax invites you all, and your senior officer to the Citadel. Please follow me.
Okay. Bill, tell me where to go.
Concern.
He'll the figure you notice, though, when he looks at you, he has a constant smile on his face. Not a toothy smile, but just a tight-lipped smile that never leaves his lips.
He's got the smirk of a man who's having a drum banged near his face.
And he'll start walking towards the Citadel.
Okay.
First, Civ is going to try to do a smiling contest.
Oh, God.
No.
That is 2 degrees success. Gren, do you want to reciprocate this and oppose it?
Sure. Hold on for a second. I want to
I'm
see.
gonna
if
look
I got
away
any
to
points.
maintain my sanity.
I'm gonna look at the beer cans in front of my face.
I'm gonna start looking at the beer cans too. I'm gonna get a deep and abiding interest in serial numbers on the backs of fucking beer.
Well, I want to say that the intimidation attempt probably won't have much effect on them,
it's just a flavor thing.
but I will do an.
Yep, just a neutral test.
Is it possible to rig my pre-sense goggles to filter out this?
Sure.
Not having good rolls to that. Well, you see, my character isn't trying to be creepy. He just is.
Yeah. Basically, Ziv kind of sees you smiling and smiles back, but he does it really over the top, where it's coming across in a really creepy way, and it gives you an uneasy feeling, sure.
So he's just going to say, damn it. And he's just gonna not smile.
So watching the chimps at the zoo,
Yep.
showing their teeth at each other. This is
The,
very
uh,
unsettling.
They're showing it. Don't look them in the eyes. That's seen as a challenge in their world.
The figure says, as he continues walking, "You've got a good smile on you."
Civ is just not gonna respond.
Right. As
Alright.
you make your way towards the Citadel, you may, you have just enough reach on your standard comms to contact one of your crewmen to relay a message. Do you wish to summon any of your senior officers to this meeting?
Sorry, what?
Would you guys, as a party, like to summon any of your senior officers from the Red Sun's crew down? So basically any of the named NPCs.
I'm good.
It would probably be productive to do so.
Which
Also,
ones would you
it-
like to take?
It would also be productive to bring the. I know the Citadel's the main facility, but probably would be good to let them know where we're going, so that they know exactly which window to howitzer if things go bad. If things kick off, but I need you to macro cannon this window in particular.
Should we bring the dark or should we not, in case things go fuck up?
I will say the Dark Cyclops is currently unaware. You basically try and ask for him, but they're like, I can't seem to get hold of him, sir. I'll keep trying, but I don't think he'll get much luck. He's been out of contact for a few hours now.
I'm watching my stories.
If you want me to make a suggestion, you should probably bring at least Valenia with you.
You know, guys, I've just had an idea. We should bring Valenia with us.
Yep.
How come?
I just hear a little voice in my head. It'd be a really
Just
good
out of the
idea.
way.
Very well then.
Young Captain is you.
Bring whatever officers you'd like.
Alright.
The Lord would like to see all of you.
Shit, I might have to use that as my art.
Is there any particular purpose we are to meet? So we might consider which officers are relevant.
He wishes to see you.
Should we bring the beer?
Sorry, I missed your name, sir.
That is because I did not give it, my lord.
Alright. Well, do you have any underlings nearby who could carry this beer for me?
Alright. Showa. You can, with a gesture, summon some people if you wish. You should respond that way.
In that case, he'll respond, "Certainly, my lord." And he'll just kind of look towards some I don't know, cultists wandering the street.
Better than
Who's
that.
there? Ah, yes, soldiers, of course.
2 Volks Grenadiers and a third one for support will come up to you and go, "Yeah, hell, reporting for duty."
I don't understand your language, but you're carrying this beer.
The Lord here has given you a order.
Jawohl, mein
I suggest you
Kommandant.
follow it.
The
Very
2 Volks Grenadiers approach you, Norris. They are like, "My lord, here." And they kind of hold out their arms to pick up the crate from you. Do you wish to give it to them?
Yes.
Okay, you give it to them, to the 2 of them holding it out, and it kind of they catch it just, but it kind of sags under the weight a bit. And they're like, "Ah, mein Death!" And then the third one's like, "Oh, Scheiße!" And the third one runs in and helps support it with his way as well. So now you've got
Fetch a forklift.
3 fucking grenadiers just about managing to carry this fucking huge crate of beer. And they're all like,
Thank you.
"I need to go,
Thanks,
man,
lad."
nuts."
Good. If you
Feel
would
free to take a
continue.
few as payment.
Thank you, sir.
Well, with that, unless there are any more arrangements you wish done, please continue following me.
Alright, so
Alright.
do you want to summon any officers? I guess you want to summon Valenia, so.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
You tried to summon Lord Cyclops, he wouldn't pick up. Anyone else?
I don't fucking remember.
Kind of want to Splinter, but probably not. Just in case we get really rich, we can try to take care of ourselves
Okay.
and not. I kind of don't want to put him in danger in case this goes balls up.
Fair enough. I will be back very soon. I'm just gonna go for a piss. So, me amongst yourselves for a minute.
Alright.
You receive a ready transmission from Black Cyclops. Hey lads, how's it going?
Oh, it's been better, sir.
I have alcohol.
Do you keep property damage to a bearable minimum?
We bought beer.
Yep.
You expect?
That's the spirit.
So far, the
get-
only
get-
property we've damaged is a couple people's backs.
They're Kriegers, they're
those
not
are
people.
expendable.
Oof.
Get me a bottle of kerosene.
You'll hear the Kriegsmen laugh at that joke.
Krigsman, good lads, scrap me up. I think they were but good lads.
Well, out of character, by the way, you might want to call for Dr. Winters, and that one fucking the captain.
I'm the captain.
No. You're the commander.
Oh yeah.
The captain. What was his name again?
I don't know.
Do you mean this guy like on the bridge who
That guy,
basically
that Yona.
Yeah.
has the ship?
All right,
Yeah.
I'll call for Dr. Winters.
God dang. So be it.
If some of the crew could dislodge the acting captain from Yona for 5 minutes so we can have a meeting.
Joanna is nowhere to be seen.
Yona from the captain or captain from the Yona?
I don't care, get in there with a crowbar. Johanna. I don't care, send in a crowbar team.
Do you mean First Officer Dillard?
There
we go.
Yes, that one too. We should get him.
Require the first
There you go.
officer, get the crowbars.
Johanna is nowhere to be seen. Not even with him.
Huh.
Finally. I mean,
I
oh no.
suppose she retreated into the warp.
Oh no.
Let's banish her. Be gone! Fuck this!
He has mastered the ancient art of.
Alright.
Can we quote? Can we quote before it continues? I'll just quote Matt from yesterday. History is a bunch of stories telling us how to avoid thoughts.
Ironically.
And Johanna is the example.
She is the thought.
Okay. So you're taking Valenia with you, and are you ready to proceed?
We
I
also
think they-
said Dr. Winters and somebody else.
First
First
officer
Officer
Dillard is
Dillard.
available.
Okay. First Officer Dillard basically says, "My lords, appreciate your appreciate the request, but I would ask that it's more prudent for me to stay on the bridge. Just keep the vessel secure. Understand?
Understandable.
But I can send Officer Dillard and Valenia down if you wish.
All right.
Very good, lords. Good luck." And
Lania and Dillard. Okay.
I shall summon Baikel.
can summon your bike if you wish.
Yep.
Everyone else will be walking, so it's kind of just for cool factor more than anything.
Yeah,
I'll come
walk-
hitch my
walk-
trailer
walk-
to the back.
He's
I'll-
ghost riding. He's ghost riding the whip.
I'll just have a little red wagon cart just off the back.
All of you start at the bottom, where the road is, at the bottom of the map.
God damn.
And I will try go for some NPCs. Yep, down there if you want to drag your tokens over.
To the right, boys.
Yeah, sorry, I should have made that more clear, because I said road, I should have said, like, pathway or some shit.
You should have said weird squares.
Oh, okay.
We don't believe in roads.
Well, we're going.
We're going, we don't need roads.
Who
You
paid
drag-
for these roads?
What?
There's Dominoes, but they did that fucking asshole.
And I'll put the
They look like
grenadiers
dominoes.
as well. The beer keg.
Oh, he's got a shadow. He's got a shadow, doesn't he?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh god, could we?
Oh no.
I love he just have an entourage of Vox Grenadiers, you know?
As we
Carrying
go,
a
we'll
case
just
of
colour
beer
all-
for us.
It does not.
They are good men.
Anyway, as you guys proceed further through Araxes Prime City, come out into a more open area along the pathway, and as you get nearer to your low destination, you see two familiar figures chatting as they walk. Not so much chatting, they occasionally exchange words, but a lot of it is just them kind of sort of inclining their heads towards each other. And Skog, could you make me a common
Is
lore
that
tech
Frost?
at plus 20?
Is that Frost from Rainbow Six Siege?
If it is,
Don't
we're in trouble.
lampshade it.
Damn.
Watch out for traps.
They appear to be speaking in the new spheric communication, Skog. You have not quite received the full implants yet, but you can kind of sense that's what they're doing. You've been around techie Mechanicus sorts before. But they are occasionally using natural voices. You're not sure why.
I have Gothic and low. Low Gothic and binary. Gothic and low binary. Does that even work? Is it just zeros?
No, New Spheric is like a wireless sort of Wi-Fi network thing that Mechanicus people can use to exchange information, scan things. Does a lot of shit actually in the lore, including some hilarious things if you read the Tech Priest trilogy by Graham McNeil, is it? He fucking... Slight spoiler, but by the end of it, two Magoses have a fight in the Matrix, and it's both amazing and fucking cringy at the same time. It's the weirdest thing
Sorry, I need to
ever.
go there.
Yeah.
In the real
Well-
world, there's just two dudes in red robes shrieking at each other.
Yes!
So so amazing battle on the Matrix, but in real life it's just.
Oh yeah, and it's even more bootleg because this gay dude or girl, I can't remember who it was, sacrifices herself to give the good Magos dude power to defeat the traitor Magos. It's literally just an anime boss battle at this point, like give him his ultimate power.
Yes,
It's so ridiculous.
Brain power.
It's a
In
good
reality, what
That's
it's a
the
good
good shit.
series of books, but it gets fucking weird. Another spoiler, the Black Templars are in it, they get dicked over by the Eldar, so they fucking hate the Eldar. But then the book ends with their last stand defending the Eldar, performing a ritual against all these horrible, like, tech mutant things. So, that's a interesting twist for you.
That's the good shit.
Oh, yeah. Subverts your expectations, doesn't it? You don't expect Black Templars to defend Xenos to the death in the last stand.
I don't expect Black Templars to defend anything.
Oh, yeah.
To any.
It's a
The Templars
very
only
schizophrenic
attack.
book, I will
I
say.
expect them to. I expect them to set everything on fire, then leave.
Honestly, it's a
Defending,
really
that's
solid
not
book.
personally
It
attack.
fleshes out the Mechanicus a lot and enjoy it, but it's fucking weird in places. I was like, are you sure you're writing a 40k novel here, Mr. Neil? Because it's like weird animation.
Are you
parts of it.
certain, Mr. Neil?
Regardless, I do recommend people check it out. Anyway. So,
Here you go. A little bit of art before I dab off again.
oh no. Hope Joanna's there, Eustace. Oh no.
Dr. Freeman!
What have you done, Freeman?
Oh, and Dr.
That's
Freeman,
magic!
I think you got this.
Their first experience of humanity was a crowbar coming at them down a metal hallway.
Who says that?
That's from Half-Life.
Wait, does he literally say that the first thing of humanity is
The
crowbar?
first thing, the fucking what is a
What
the
a
first
coincidence.
experience
It
of
was the
humanity they had was a crowbar flying at them down a metal
That's
hallway. That is
fucking
verbatim
based
something.
as fuck.
Like he points out, it's like you murdered a lot of them in the first game.
To be fair, they attacked
Which
first.
was- Yeah, but he did it in such a brutal and bootleg way. Beaten to death with a hooked piece of metal.
I always found hilarious how Gordon's just this science man, but
Yeah, he's literally just some scientist.
Not even a very good one. They point out he barely passed his PhD.
He barely passed his PhD. He's like an hour late in his first mission, and he's doing all the manual labor instead of the actual work.
So yes, Gog, you have a salamander scout tank at the moment.
Cool.
You managed to Shanghai.
Nice.
It may be irrelevant later on, but we'll see how things go.
If they ask for him back, they can have him back. But first, they've got to ask.
Alright. So anyway, you see these two, and they approach you, and Winter's face lights up a little as he sees you, like, mein Herrs, thank you very much for inviting us here. This place is wonderful. Even Valenia is somewhat taken by the marvelous architecture they have here. Don't you say so? Valenia just kind of turns to you all and says, greetings, my lords. The architecture is fine, I suppose.
Greetings. It's good
Yeah.
to have you down here.
I appreciate that. Shall we proceed and see what this great lord wants with us, yeah?
So yes.
Sounds like a plan.
They basically fall and step behind you a little bit.
We should arrive soon. So just moving up, Stu?
Yep, move up whenever you're ready. If I'm just gonna move these lot along with you. There we go.
Awkward.
Oof.
It's how it is.
It's so big.
You just scroll up.
Still.
So, as you make your way very close towards the Citadel, you reach the town square. One of the main town squares in Araxes Prime. And you see a crowd of people surrounding something that seems to be going on in the middle of the square. They're all kind of booing and hissing, and just some of them are yelling, like, in excitement. And you see this gentleman on this sort of raised metal platform up here. Could you all roll perception checks for me?
Is this Hoxton?
Rolling public execution check, you say?
Oh shit, Ziv. Alright, Ziv,
God damn it.
you recognize this man as a mutant. Very heavily mutated man. And due to your, well, knowledge of mutants, you know, having a little bit of knowledge of the Great Unclean One, you know, Father Nurgle, this guy is very, very strongly affiliated with Nurgle, this mutant up here on the stage. And as you make your approach, you see this somewhat crisp-looking gentleman in a pressed suit reading off a data slate, and he's kind of just waffling on about, like, subsection 3 by 3476. I hereby proclaim you guilty of such charges as disturbance of the peace and violating the cleanliness of our city, and lots of other shit like that. Like, he's just sprouting off all these various crimes committed. The guy on the stage, though, appears to be just laughing maniacally. Like, he's really pleased with what he's done. And after a little while, the gentleman in crisp coat turns to this interesting guy. Han, would you like to describe your character?
Well, he's a figure cloaked in a black suit, wearing a simple hat. He seems like a just He seems like quite a normal person, however, there's something very much out of place about him. He looks stoically at the crowd, and as the man in a bureaucratic-looking suit approaches me, I just get on top of the stage, tie the noose around the neck of the mutant, and throw him off.
And then Civ is going to shout, "No, my brother!"
I would highly suggest against that.
And my character shall say, "Alright, another bureaucrat aided."
He goes, "Thank you, my lord, for seeing justice served. Carry on as you will." And he kind of just wanders off into the thing. The crowd's reaction is somewhat mixed. Well, it's mostly positive. Like, a lot of people are just like, "Yeah, filthy mutant scum!
So,
Don't
those
pollute
who
our water
disapprove-
again, filth!" and all this kind of
To
shit.
those who disapprove, could I stare them down?
Make an intimidate at +30.
Well, I think like it's clear who's disapproving. Those who are downwind.
Can Civ join the crowd in disapproving?
You can
go
try
all
and
you like, they're
disapprove
blind.
it, yes.
What's the modifier?
Make a willpower save to kind of stand firm as this man
Okay.
just kind of stares you down after executing the guy.
Yeah.
I'll give you a +20 for the resilience of Nurgle. Even you, Ziv, despite being appalled that one of your, colleagues decide, well, fellow followers of the faith has been executed, you're still a bit wary of just the ease at which this man was killed, and you think, the executioner fellow is quite strong.
Does anybody else
Guys,
in the,
I'm just gonna go back to
So-
the ship.
does anybody else in the party need to roll willpower save, or?
Not
I'm
really, no.
opposed to him.
Actually,
Uh,
I would
Dude.
get a +10 probably, because I've got Pity the Weak.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
I-
too much.
so-
Basically, the crowd all kind of goes in silence as you kind of stare them down and just kind of start to mosey off back to
Stu.
the business. Yeah?
since me and Hans' character have a bit of backstory before this,
Yeah.
can I do something?
Mm-hmm.
As the crowd begins to part, one thing can be heard. That is a man clapping. As Shua is going to walk up towards Hans' character and say, "Splendid work as always, my found."
Well, you know what they say. The Emperor protects. And I shake his hand.
He returns a friendly handshake and says, "I have a bit of a task here. I am to lead these individuals to the Citadel. Would you care to join us?"
Well, considering I still owe you one. Sure, why not?
"Oh, yes. I have not." And he turns around. "I have not introduced myself, have I? My name is Sua von Ignium Nuclea."
Oy vey, it's been
You,
a
And this here is mine colleague, Ron. I do believe you have a title?
Well, some people have come to call me the Curtailer. I don't know why. Guess I'm just good at my job.
I'll see that some of you are standing a bit far behind and say, "Why are you lagging behind over there?"
Civ is just going to try to run back to the ship as fast as he can.
I guess my character shall just walk up to Nellis's character and shake his hand.
Okay.
That was an interesting display you put on. Mind my asking why you killed that man?
Well, if I get an excuse to kill a bureaucrat, and I don't have to face any consequences, I will happily take it.
That was a bureaucrat?
Amongst other things.
We're gonna be great pals.
I nod approvingly.
What?
Who is the individual in the suit over there?
Just some, yeah?
He's basically a sort of administrator slash, person in charge of like law enforcement. You could say he's just a suit, basically.
Well,
works for the Legion.
He's the guy who does the paperwork on my behalf.
Yep.
He also happens to be among our bosses, Ron.
I see.
We work for me and Ron work for what you could call law enforcement. We don't have much in forms of arbiters on this planet.
Yeah,
Well.
we just do it the old-fashioned way.
I must say that I do approve of bureaucrats being taken out by law enforcement for once.
Civ is just going to break in and say, "A brother of mine, General, a bureaucrat."
Well,
Why
you know what
not?
they say. Filth
That's utter
attracts filth.
heresy.
What can I say, my friend? Your kind do tend to attract filth.
At least I'm not his kind of filthy.
At least he wears a gas mask to keep it in. If you stand downwind from him, you might get a cough at the most.
Yeah, you don't
Trust
want to
me.
see me without the mask.
Trust me. I have much experience when it comes to avoiding gas.
I was born with it. Molded by it. I didn't see fresh air until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
Regardless, my lords, shall we continue?
Certainly.
Well, unless you want to kill some other bureaucrats.
I smile.
Unfortunately, mein friend, I am here to ensure that only the right bureaucrats are killed. Ron ensures they are killed correctly.
We'll talk about this more on a later date, perhaps. Let's stick to the matter at hand. The meeting that you're taking us to.
Come on, then.
Indeed, the Lord does not want to be kept waiting, I am sure.
Nor do I.
Okay. As you make your way towards the main pathway that will take you to the Citadel, you're met by a couple of soldiers.
Frost from Rainbow Six.
Please, Bill, and anyone else who has the right lore, roll fucking lore checks, like Imperial Guard, War, whatever.
War or Imperial Guard?
War or Imperial Guard.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna.
say war?
Or Imperial Guard.
WAR war. What is it good for?
Oh Jesus, I passed a single fucking one.
They are enough of you recognize to enough of you know enough to see that these are Seleucid Forcati troops. And there's a sergeant leading them. Ron and Showa, you recognize her before. She's one of the main Seleucid troopers.
Yeah, she's my favorite operator in Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh shit, we should have been in the RP basement. God damn it.
Midnight, we're in a game, get out.
Which game?
And then like get the football.
Black
One
Crusade.
that you're not in.
Oof.
Oof, oof.
Yeah, I should have. I forgot to do that. Never mind. Anyway, so.
Professional.
Oh yeah, 100% pro. You two recognize her as Sergeant Zhang. The Seleucid Forcati. She's in charge of, mostly in charge of security around the Citadel and inner part of the city. And she gives Ron and Showa a sharp salute and is like, "Greetings, my lords. What can I do for you?"
We're bringing these guests, as I understand, to see Lord... One moment. Galtrax.
I see Galtrax, huh? Alright. Follow me. And
Right.
she beckons, her troops fall in just behind her, and she beckons you all to follow her to the Citadel.
So, Stu, I've played Rainbow Six Siege before. Can I roll perception for any bear traps?
He's
Yes.
gonna kill you if you keep on.
Roll a perception at plus 20. Or I should say awareness, but you know.
Imagine painting Frost.
Okay. She hasn't laid any traps on the pathway, obviously, but as you approach the Citadel, you do notice the defenses and guards checkpoints and so forth and securities. Pretty snappy, it's pretty good. So, whoever she is, she seems to have done an alright job.
Indeed.
You don't notice any bear traps. Right. Maybe you should observe.
Yeah.
You eventually...
Who knows?
He doesn't trust you now. You stuttered as you said yes. Oh no.
You
He
eventually...
knows it's gonna die though, so he's giving up. Sorry.
Eventually, make your way through the main gates. The sergeant kind of goes through all the paperwork and does all the boring shit for you, basically, so you can enter with ease. Doesn't want to bother Ron and show with all that. Her troops basically fall back to normal positions once you reach the gates. And once you're inside the throne room, she wanders off.
Thank you for your service.
No, take care.
I nod.
And now,
So then,
you're in the grand throne room of the Citadel. And you see a figure sitting on a throne at the other end of the room, flanked by two Astartes that appear of the Iron Wars Legion that appear to be wearing Terminator armor. And you also see the figure that you recognize, many of you recognized earlier, as Captain Malgus, who visited your ship. They seem to be conferring with each other a little bit, just some murmurings and so forth. Eventually, though, he turns to you as you enter the door, and we're just kind of standing there for a moment. And is like, "All of you, come forth."
you heard, Samat?
I knew it. This was execution.
Alright.
Showa will take the lead, but turn around. to kind of nod the rest of them forward. And once he gets up to Lord Galtrax, he'll get on one knee and do a respectful and lower his head respectfully.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you very much to Viper Sword for doing this art for me a while back. It's quite nice.
I just give him a friendly nod.
Okay, yep, he kind of just nods to both Showa and Ron and says, "Good job, both of you. You may fall in with them now. I need to have a word with them."
Thank you, my lords.
Of course.
And Showa will walk off. Come on, Ron. I do believe we have to look over the captive records.
I enjoy this.
Just gonna bring some people in. There we go. Okay, by the way, the Kriegers rather clumsily set down your beer can about here, and I'm gonna draw it for you. There's your crate of beer. And then they immediately fuck off upon doing this. They look quite relieved upon dropping this crate of beer. Trax does notice it, but he kind of shrugs it off. And then turns to you, Nullis, and says, "So, you're the great leader of the, Red Sun, huh?"
That is I.
I was expecting you to be a bit taller, but y'all gotta start somewhere. It's a nice weapon you got there. What is that?
Which one are you referring to?
That Crosus Arcanium. At least what it used to be.
I don't fucking know what that is.
Okay, it's basically the power mace thing you took off Lord
yes.
Cyrus.
Makes them all like ball.
Yeah.
Makes it fall like bomb. That's what it's named in my case. Thank you.
Fine weapon.
I got this weapon from battle.
There are many great weapons in war. Well, welcome to Araxes, I guess. You're kind of lucky that our vessels picked you up. It's getting pretty rough in the space out there. 13th Black Crusade going on. Abaddon on the move. The War Master, I should say.
Indeed.
So what do you hope to do here on this world?
Well, we are going to probably try and get some supplies from this world, and especially given that our ship has sustained a certain amount of damage from the last conflict it was in.
Got the makings of a strategist yet, young one. We can possibly repair your vessel. Especially since Lord Cyclops has been welcomed back into our legion. I was very glad to see him. He stopped by earlier, you see. Probably why he didn't return your calls.
Did he?
Indeed,
You get a text message. Go buy me discounts. See you later. Smiley.
Oof. Get trolled.
7,000 years old, still texts like an 18-year-old girl.
I feel young again.
Oof.
Just pump rejuvenate serum into his suit.
Just fucking, he's home again after like what could have been, was probably been several centuries.
Oh yeah. So
Ah,
Gulch.
my old hood. The place I used to kick the loyalists' heads in the football.
Back in Grove Street.
Back in Grove Street home. This
Oh,
was before I fucked
Mr.
everything up.
Heresy, sweet heresy. You can see him like, cleaning the house and putting the doormat on.
Ah, the flames on their skulls burn so sweetly,
So
like candles.
Lord Goldtrax continues and basically says, "We all appreciate you bringing Lord Cyclops back to us. Favored brother of the Legion, truly. I'm sure he was of great use to you in your travels to guard your vessel.
Indeed, he was.
Yeah.
He's a great warrior.
Not only a great warrior, a great engineer, you could say as well. Great architect too.
Aye.
Great mind for technology. Unfortunately, he can't make it to this meeting. He's got some important stuff to deal with. However, he has spoke very kindly of you and your young fledgling warband, so on his behalf, I've decided to grant you all feast in his honor.
What?
I'm grateful.
Of course. Would you all care to join us?
Certainly.
Very good. He kind of just claps his hands a bit. And he gestures to you guys and says, "Please, stand back a moment over there." Kind of gestures off to the side of the room.
Sue's just gonna tap Nolan to say, "You sure about this, sir?" "You're sure."
Well,
about
if he met with the Cyclops, I'm sure he's fine. I'm gonna pick up my beer case and bring it over here with me.
Yeet. I should probably make a token for that. Ah, it doesn't matter. I'll just drag it.
You don't need to make a token. It's probably not gonna be here for very long.
No, I would.
So everyone who's got a beer, put like the cup symbol on your character to signify that you have beer.
Yes.
Can we take a beer from the
Everyone take one and pass it round.
Sure.
Okay, so.
Ugh, Foster's.
Cool, blimey, you need a Foster's, don't you? Oof.
Foster's is Australian for pesh.
You want one, sir?
Big ass table is laid in front of you. It's borne in by a full squad of Astartes. This thing is basically wrought out of iron, from what you can see. It's not the most ornamental table, but there's a certain artistic, design to it that some of you might
Modern art.
appreciate. And once it's laid down, he gestures to you all. Please sit. I'm going to just layer this on the map. Has that worked? No. No, I have to draw on the
Just
map,
put it
don't
on
I?
the.
If you
Just,
right click on it and you can click it to put to back in the advanced menu.
Ha! Very good.
That works too.
Yeets, that's a lot easier. There you go. Now you can all place yourselves at the table. And as, he basically gestures to Ron and Showa as they were looking over the notes. Feel free to join us.
Thank you, my lords. It will be a pleasure.
Right. You all take your seats. And very soon, servitors come in. They lift up your crate, Nullis, and place it on the table for you.
Thank you.
And then they depart, and more servitors come in and bring you great platters of food and more alcohol. It's not as lavish a feast as you were expecting, but all the food is very well cooked. And it looks pretty nice. It's just not quite as fanciful as you were expected, as you might have expected.
These are the works of someone with a really nice iron skillet. Not a lot else, but fuck me, are they good with that skillet?
It's like, I'd say, probably a bit finer than traditional Norse cuisine, I'd say.
Yep, pretty much. In terms of alcohol, they pour special liquid for Lord Trax and for you, Nullis, that you may partake in. Everyone else gets regular alcohol, basically.
I ask what's in the drink.
Ooh.
Fine concoction for us Legiones Astartes. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
I ask for the strong stuff.
Sure. One of the servitors, pours some for you as well.
And my character instead simply, when they try to pour for him, he just raises a hand.
Yep.
Not for me.
Alright, yep. They don't.
Guess
pour
I'll
you.
drink on your behalf.
That's right. Alcohol dulls the wits, my friend.
I've got a lot to dull.
Fucking red one.
Mind you,
my
I've got
wits.
a lot to dull, not just my wits.
And my wits are quite dangerous to dull, I'm afraid.
What an edgy boy you are.
We've run into literally the first straight edge Chaos Legionnaire.
Oof.
Yes.
See it.
So, Nullis, I presume you crack open the case of beer that you got from the bar as well and hand that out to
I crack open a cold one with the boys.
the boys. Roll a fellowship plus 40.
Lord Goldrax has set out a lavish feast for us all.
Did you
Also,
say
Nullis
plus-
brought a slab.
Did you say plus 40?
Plus 40 fellowship roll. Your cold ones go down well with the boys. So, you basically set about your feast, start eating. The food is about 7 out of 10. Pretty good. Could be more lavish, but it's pretty nice compared to what you've been eating.
Is it like when Trump got a bunch of McDonald's for the football players to eat,
Yes,
or
it's kind of like that, yeah.
But it's like they went to the best McDonald's on the
Go to a
block.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything has clearly been cooked in an iron skillet with nothing but butter.
Oh yeah.
Like,
So
yeah,
this is the
Do you call these steamed hams where you come from?
Now,
Jesus Christ, unless
stop trying to precipitate a war.
Jesus Christ.
I don't actually say that, by the way. I just want to.
Ziv just implied he thought to himself, excellent, utter guy.
You know, I think they probably have a special meal for the Drogo worshippers.
They're just like, oh yeah, they go and dig out the trash.
No, it's just a happy. It's literally just a happy meal.
There's a speck of manity here.
Listen, no, here's what
Soldier,
they
you've
do.
got more meat than the rest of us.
Nulla begins complaining because he had a girl toy in Happy Meal.
oof.
No. Here's what Civ eats. Here's what Civ eats pasta. He eats lutefisk.
Oof. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
very Civ. That's very Civ.
Yes.
Very Civ. Once you open it, everyone in the vicinity goes fucking blind.
Just a fucking cloud of like.
For those who don't know, lutefisk is a traditional Nordic meal that has a consistency that is fish that has a consistency of jelly, because you've left it out rotting for long enough in salt.
And his particular lutefisk has maggots.
Oh,
What's that bootleg fucking Sicilian cheese?
oh Jesus.
That stuff they banned for good fucking reason.
God, that looks awful.
There's a reason why there's a space between Civ and everyone else.
So that's basically just bootleg sushi then. Like really
rotten
bootleg
sushi.
sushi.
Bootleg
Kinda.
rotten sushi.
Yes. A lot of people like it, for some reason.
Strangely. I suppose some people actually are like Civ.
From what I hear, it's more the smell that gets people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
people 6 under.
Then again, most lutefisk probably doesn't have maggots.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the game.
Yeah.
So,
Instead of talking about Norwegian cuisine.
it's fine. I expected this to be one of those things.
To be fair, that's still better than the Dutch cuisine, but yeah.
This is still better than Sargon's campaign. Oh,
Absolutely.
adapt.
Fucking
To be
if
honest, they
the
actually killed a second Hydra. They're lucky to it.
fucking wouldn't you prefer if they were just? I mean, I wouldn't want them to have a fucking lavish meal either, because they go into detail about what exactly is on the table.
I'd be like, fuck
what's
off.
your daily
Can we-
caloric intake? Aren't you on a keto diet?
What is the
Oh,
ratio?
gonna get me started on that keto shit.
What is the ratio of vegetables to meat on the table in exact numbers?
Thanks, Arch.
You gotta watch out for your carbs, guys.
So,
Okay.
So, yeah.
thank you for the meal.
Okay, no, you haven't. Here's the thing, it's like halfway through. He gives you a good, like, time to enjoy the feast for what it is.
Right.
And then he basically bangs his goblet on the table. It does shake the table a little bit. The goblet doesn't break because the goblet's fucking adamantine steel. For a starting strength. Oof. And he goes, my fellows, propose a toast to the Legion, to Lord Cyclops for returning into the fold, and to Lord Perturabo, Iron Within.
Perturabo!
And then all the Marines yell Iron Without as well in response.
Iron without.
See you, John.
Toast.
Iron within.
I just downed another cold one.
Iron
The
with rot.
voice.
Everyone's just fucking doing Steve Austin double can.
My character it seems to be out drinking most of the Astartes.
That's concerning.
I'm gonna roll something actually here, hold on.
Did you mean your character is poisoned?
Well, no.
Gold Trax is cold what toast goes down well with the lads.
The lads, the boys. What's better than this? Just guys being dudes.
Yeah.
No phones,
fucking-
just living in the moment.
Everyone gets more
Just,
and more wasted upon the
It's
toast.
the moment.
Just fucking boys will be boys, am I right?
I'm crunching numbers in my head to see if I could cut cocaine with bolt gun propellant.
Are you still there, by the way, Skog? I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Alright. I guess Ursula's just kind of a bit taken aback by all this revelry.
Sitting back in quiet disapproval.
So I guess it's free to roleplay a bit then, Stu.
A little bit, yeah. Oh, he will talk business shortly. He's the kind of guy, you get the impression he's the kind of guy that likes to do business while eating and having a bit of fun as well.
The
kids.
communist way.
Yes.
As opposed to the
Yeah.
traditional method of the Iron Warriors, which is to get blackout drunk and get found outside of a arbiter station the next morning.
How do you know that's not the plan?
I mean, he is of a finer breed. Anyway,
I didn't know Bill had the psychic ability to predict the future.
Well, funny you should say that.
so Shoa is going to look towards the other side of the table, particularly towards. Hold on. Faust.
Oof.
It's going to say, I don't believe I caught your name, sir.
Nor are yours.
Well.
I extend a powder blue gauntleted hand. The name's
Will
Voss.
reach. Sure.
Always a pleasure.
Same to you. I noticed that you have some very interesting equipment on you. Haven't seen weaponry like that. Well, on any soldier, aside from Space Marines. There must be a story behind such extravagant equipment.
Extravagance, one word. Freach, not the correct method to crack.
Interesting. I heard about your travels there. I understand that you met many a challenge out there in the great beyond. Were you not supposed to originally join the Lord on his Black Crusade?
Oh, things never go quite as smoothly as planned, do they? Yeah, what they say, something about plans and first contact with the enemy.
He Ashura scratches the part of his neck that's covered up by the uniform and says, "I think I can understand that."
So I think everything's going fairly smoothly now. We're in good company, having a nice time. Good business on the horizon, and I might even get to engage in my profession.
My character shall grab another Astartes-sized tankard, fill it, and give one to Voss and say, "You seem like a man of good taste. Try one."
The look of concern washes over his face.
Palpable worry.
Hey, Voss, there is picture of you doing cocaine.
I feel there has been a minor miscommunication.
So,
More the
I'm looking in the cup and I'm
ultra-talent
thinking to myself,
shooter
if I drink this, I'm going to melt.
okay, as the cup
What's
is...
the
can
worst
see-
thing that could happen?
I
You
could
can
melt.
see
Right.
you can see Showa looking at you with a toothy grin as you consider drinking it.
As,
It's most
okay,
likely.
as Voss, you look upon the glass, the goblet. Valenia, of all people, pipes up and says, "Lord Voss, I would not recommend drinking that substance. It contains 5,000 milliliters above what human livers can withstand in alcohol levels.
I guess I had to drive home.
I stress, Your liver will most likely shut down if you drink this. If you don't die of acid burns through your throat first.
Well, I appreciate the notion, sir. Unfortunately, I'll have to exercise the better part of valor on this one. I do have to
Oh,
drive some
well.
of these people home.
Suit
Thank you
yourself.
for the offer.
My character just jovially grabs the tankard and downs it.
I'll have
I'll
to
continue
apologize.
nursing Miss Foster's.
I'll have to apologize for Ron. He does this to. He's just this. I do believe he's done this to every newcomer. Only a couple have died so far.
There's always one.
While they are doing this, Tim is just gonna look straight across the table and chew his food. Sorry. Allow me to instead roll.
Let me
There.
just.
If he's trying to intimidate while he's chewing, there'll be a modifier.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
plus
about
10
that.
to your disgusting chewing. Yeah. It's. You come across more like a child pretending to be trying to be gross, and they all just
That was
kind
kind
of
of-
glance at you like, "The fuck are you doing, man?"
Could I stare back?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Oh,
would probably be a plus 10 because I'm probably
He's
stronger
looking,
than him.
he's looking straight forward. Like so.
Oh, Stu has gone. Stu is
No, I'm back.
gone.
I'm back. But, there we go. So
Yeah.
what happened? Sorry. Did you just stare at each other? Is that what happened?
He's staring at.
Yeah, he's staring straight forward. So he's not staring down there, he's staring like straight forward.
Just What the fuck are you doing?
Careless whisper plays in the distance.
Okay, give me a moment.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Excuse my friend, he's probably a little upset at the sight at the gallows before.
I don't quite appreciate my kind being killed, but if he's a bureaucrat, I can understand.
Well, I tried to keep it clean, in as far as you can cleanly kill a Nurgle follower.
You didn't even
Well,
burn.
they sometimes tend to like a neck.
Okay. Sergeant Sang kind of gets up for a moment and is just like, "What is your problem, Nurglite?"
What?
My,
This is how I eat.
My character shall try and intervene and just put his hand on her shoulder, look her in the eye and say, Now, let's not cause any trouble.
Roll a fellowship at plus 30. Charm, if you like, or intimidate, whatever you prefer. Probably charm,
my
the way you
character-
phrase that, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
Yeah.
With a slight shift in your grip, you can change it from charm to intimidate.
You
So
pretty
that's a
much.
plus 10, right?
Plus 30, I'll say, for your charm.
Alright.
Whichever skill you most prefer, I guess.
It's always beautiful when someone can have a sentence and then like very minor shifts in body posture lead to three different checks.
My
You get
character
one
isn't really the
last
charming
message?
type, so I'm gonna go for intimidate.
So you start off
You get to-
charming and then go, like, now, sit down, kind of thing.
Well, I say it in a charming manner, but
Yeah.
my look says something else.
Yes.
So would that be a plus 30?
I'll say a plus 20. Actually, for intimidate. So.
Alright.
Stu, can you
Oh,
give me
yeah,
one last
Jesus.
message?
Jesus
She
Christ.
kind of just looks at you for a moment as like, Have it your way, Ron. She kind of just sits back down.
Please excuse the human bot fly that we have towed along on this mission.
It's how my people say hello.
What were you trying to say, Richless, sir?
Yeah, one last message from Lord Cyclops before he goes to bed.
Yep.
Boys, take care. We have greetings for my wife. Come tomorrow to the house for breakfast. Signing out.
Oof. Alright,
And I wish you good night, guys. I'm tired.
Yep.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
Richless.
Take
No.
care.
Thank you for the art.
Okay.
all I could do.
It's magnificent.
It's wonderful as always.
So, let's now. So, I suppose that Shua will just be. It's kind of hard to tell at times, but it seems like he is kind of always in a bit of a. He is a bit of a chucklefuck at all times, or at least seems like it.
Yep.
Just silently laughing at everything.
Alright. Hold our concern.
Yeah, that's probably the look she's giving me.
Oh. Oh. I think Sim is getting quite a few of those looks.
Lord
I can take this
Goldtrax is pretty much unmoved as all this shit has been going on. He's barely noticed it, to be honest. He's just been kind of munching away and sipping his thing, looking at data slates and cogitators and so forth as people bring them to him just to bring reports. He doesn't really stop working. That's kind of his thing. You get the impression. Even during food, he'll still occasionally work, you know. Eventually, though, he kind of just loudly says, "So, Lord Nulla, as you call yourself, suppose you're wanting your ship fixed, huh?"
Yes, we're working on that.
Well, it's a good job you brought your chief engine seer along, because I've been speaking to Captain Baugus as he did a tour of your vessel.
Oh?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Basic repairs, raw materials, repair the armor plates, weapons. Yeah, we can do most of that. Get the internal components going again, but a couple of, at least two big things you're gonna need before you can really get space-worthy again.
What was
What's
that?
your name? Lenya? You mind? She says, "Of course, Lord Cyclops." And she addresses the room and says, "The Red Sun requires a new rare crystal capacitor for its Gallowfield. It also requires some very expensive and hard to find components for the engine. We have a Vospatten drive installed in our vessel. It is hard to replace that. We're going to need to seek such components out by the sounds of it, according to my preliminary reports."
Do you have any such materials on this planet?
Goldtrax continues. "Oh, here's the thing. I could probably get you those components, right? But you're a warrior willing to prove himself to the dark gods, I suppose, right?"
Indeed.
Interesting. You all kind of seem like the type that wants to go for the glory, huh? I could, you see, I could probably get you those parts, but it's not really much in it for me. I can do the basic repairs easily enough, but the components, that'd require a little bit of effort on the 4th Grand Battalion's part to find. So here's what I'll propose to you. I can tell you where to get the components. One of them you can find on this planet. Another's a little bit of a ways out, but not too far away. There's also a small matter of the basic repairs to your vessel, armor plating, weapons, all that stuff. I would require a small favor to be completed first before I could really get started on that. What are you thinking, Lord Nulla?
Well, although we are allies, I do understand that this is a bit out of the way for you, and I appreciate the help that you have given us thus far. What is it that you would have us do?
Well, I'm gonna lay this all out for you, what you'll need to get, where you'll need to find it, what you'll need to do. To facilitate my further support, I want you to perform a small job for me on this planet here. You may or may not have noticed, but this planet's pretty old. Been around since the Great Crusade. It's changed hands many times. Used to be an imperial world. Then the War Master's people took it over after the heresy. Then it left. Then they left for a while. They abandoned the place. Imperial settlers came back, took it over, and so on and so on. This kind of happened a lot. It's kind of hard to tell whether it's an Imperial world or one of the New Order's worlds, I suppose you can say. Currently it's our world, so fuck all that.
Of course.
But regardless, we've been working a lot on trying to rebuild some of the infrastructure on this planet, make ourselves self-sustaining, you see. I don't really like trading with other warbands too much if we can avoid it. We like to be self-sufficient. You know our Legion's ways. You've hanged around Lord Cyclops enough.
Self-sufficiency
Don't
is a good
rely
standard to
on-
keep yourself to.
Oh yeah, don't rely on begging fucking Abaddon for any of his support, you right?
I know what you mean.
Wouldn't want to give him the
Give him-
satisfaction.
Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Don't teach a man to fish, and you feed yourself. Fishing's not that hard.
Good quote, Ron, good quote. So, here's the simple task that I would have you do first. There's a farm a long, long ways out from here. It's been abandoned for a long time, but sent a squad of Oaks Grenadiers to check it out a few weeks back. Haven't heard anything from them since. Would you and your crew be so kind as to check it out? Basically just go over there, see what the fuck happened, and hopefully restart the generator. From what I know, from what our informants and intelligence mailed together, farm's mostly intact. Crops are a bit fucked, but you could get them replanted easy enough. But we need the generator back online underground so we can get all the irrigation pumps going again.
Of course.
But you could do that.
I think we could, with one stipulation.
Go on.
I would like you to start the repairs before that, because you do have my word on this matter. And additionally, we are going to need some locals to help kind of guide us through the terrain.
If I may speak, Lord Gynax.
Of course, carry on, sure.
If you require a guide, then I'd be willing to offer my services. It has been quite boring as of late, my lord.
I think you read my mind, Showa, although knowing one of your talents, that might be truer than I think. Although it's kind of hard to get in my mind, so I know. Anyway.
I know, my lord.
Very good. I was
You can
thinking
provide-
about sending you and probably Ron along with them anyway, just to keep an eye on things, give them a hand, show them the terrain. I know you two have been itching to get out of the city for a while. I don't blame you. Been preparing the Legion for war for a while now, and kind of getting sick of waiting around,
Indeed, especially since you decided not to go join the Black Crusade. I understand your decision, my lord. But I still say that there would be plenty of opportunity to kill, even if Abaddon was to fail again.
Well, here's the thing, Sho. I haven't talked to my inner council about this yet, but got a good feeling about you lads. I am planning on joining the Black Crusade, and I'm hoping the Red Sun will be with me when the time comes. It's your choice, of course. I won't begrudge a man his right to choose his own destiny and all that. But I would be grateful. A dauntless light cruiser is always handy to have around.
So Abby's back at it again with the crusading, I see.
Yeah,
He hasn't been down in the weeds for too long.
Yeah, he's kind of made a fuck of it, though, to be honest. I'm sure you guys... I'm sure I heard you gentlemen ran into a bit of trouble with that yourselves. You ran into something of an ambush. Some farming world.
Yes, we did. It was very
So is-
unfortunate.
Civin's just going to pipe in and ask, "What's the destination?"
Destination for what, son?
Black Crusade. Where do we strike?
One thing at a time.
Fledgling.
Damn it.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I think you'll leave that to me and my council, don't you think?
So be it.
Forgive me, he's a bit eager.
Yeah,
A little bit.
those
I've noticed.
Nurgleites are quite eager to spread their gifts around.
Well, there's that, and
Yeah.
there's a particular place I'd like to visit again. And claim from the Emperor.
Bold words from you, Fletchling.
Not by myself.
I must. I must respect this Nurglite. He has some corn in him.
He has the spirit of war within him, I can see.
Perhaps true words have never been spoken.
Well, Lord Nulla, if you would allow me the honor, and I suspect my colleague Ron, would be happy to guide you through these lands.
If you both prove yourself adequate for guiding us where we need to go, and if you can fend for yourselves, then yes, we'd be happy to have you along.
Stu,
Mm-hmm.
upon hearing that, my character shall squeeze the table.
Okay. You squeeze the table. Make a strength tech at -20.
So a strength check, right?
Mm-hmm. -20. You can add in your armor bonuses. So roll your raw stat, basically. Okay. Upon hearing these words, Ron the Curtailer squeezes the table, and the point at which he squeezes with his thumb, despite how well crafted and the sheer mass of this just iron wrought table, You hear a creaking strain as his thumbs, like the gauntlet of his hand, just kind of squeezes the table side, and you make a little bit of an imprint in it with your thumb. And Trax kind of looks to you, Ron, and goes, "You doing okay there, Ron?"
I'm doing just fine, sir.
I'm glad to hear it.
As for Shua, upon hearing the words "proving himself," his smile grows wider, and he takes some of the alcohol on the table, the one meant for humans, and pours it into his cup. Upon touching the cup, the alcohol combusts and begins burning a slow flame on the top.
Oof, edgy boy.
He will then drink from the burning cup.
I see you're both very eager to help us in as well.
Nice.
And I really
like
wish
it,
you'd
somebody.
No, I really wish you'd stop bringing up people proving themselves. They take it like a challenge.
Careful, Showa. You might cut yourself on all that edge.
On that chunk of the table you twisted up.
I forget we are among warriors.
You know, my friend, I haven't cut myself yet. Do I have burned?
Good.
Just
says his straight face.
Good.
It sounds like it's got
It was him just going to someone who just said, "I have burned." Good.
Fucking Nurglite hand rubbing in the background.
Just fucking. Showa will just burst out laughing as the Nurglite says that.
Oh, I fucking love Ziv so much. He's just so blunt. But he's so well timed.
Oh, Civ is so extra. I love it.
So,
Oh, best fucking character I've ever.
who's the first character you ever made?
Voss is just sitting there thinking, how do you manage to set fire to Foster's? It's like 2%
Oh, blimey,
proof.
mate, you need Foster's down.
It's just like 6% on proof, let alone by volume. Getting this to burn, it's like trying to burn water.
Oof.
Yeah, and he succeeded.
You split the beer atoms.
This
Oh my
party
God.
just became lit.
Roll save to not shoot yourself.
By the 9, he lit the dab.
just about. Just about.
As everyone at the table just tried not to cringe themselves inside out.
All right. After the cringe
This is
subsides,
This is fine.
Lord Trax continues. There he goes. So, taking you're all agreed upon the first matter. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the other two, but we can give you more details as the time comes. I would like you to handle this favor first before we continue the more exotic repairs the ship will need.
Oh, and one other thing. Exactly how much do you mind if this operation is a little loud, or would you prefer we keep it quiet?
Well, I don't really care either way as long as the job is done, to be honest. That is
Alright,
the way of our legion.
Oh shit.
I just jokingly say the Iron Warriors are not famous for their subtlety.
Not
They
really.
don't.
Run, yeah.
They don't call it iron without for nothing.
We can certainly do subtlety, but it's not really what we're known for.
Well,
It's very simple to be stealthy when everyone is deaf.
well, you know what they say. Who needs stealth when you have macro cannons?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult to notice people when you don't have oxygen to breathe. That's
Who
my
needs
preferred
stealth?
method.
Who needs stealthy if you got blankets filled with disease?
The Indians blankets of smallpox.
Blankets filled with.
That was
Ziv is
pure
here to
stealth.
Ziv is here to manifest his destiny.
Just fucking.
That's the thing about Ziv. He says such a, he's very blunt about what he says, but then you just kind of think about it, it's like, yeah, he is like the most equipped to be the most heinous out of all of us.
Yeah.
Eyes Snorkel in a
Plague
nutshell.
True, as a person.
Yes.
So,
You just need the blankets.
And yet it's Johanna that has all the STDs apparently.
Ooh.
so Trax basically goes on and
So
says,
you're trying to say she's closer to Nurgle than Ziff?
No.
The greatest asset of Nurgle is gone.
Now we gotta check. Well, it's much cheaper to hire a vet than a doctor.
Listen, she's been checked multiple times and she's still clean.
Oh.
Surprisingly.
right. Trax carries on and basically goes, so the thingamajig for your reactor,
Indeed.
there is a Mechanicus outpost a little whiles away. You could go there to pick it up later on. And for the other thing, for your Gellerfield, the rare crystal, whatever. There is a mine on this planet, in fact. You could go down there. We haven't checked it out for a while, but there's some pretty nice crystals down there in the depths. You'll find what you need down there.
I haven't sensed any warp incursions in that area, so it should be fine.
Great.
As I said, though, please finish this favor first, and then I'll give you more intel on the other two assignments you'll need to get your ship functional. And with that, people, I'm going to go take a piss, and then we're going to look at the compacts. We're going to do some fluff stuff and see what that involves.
So,
Back in a moment.
Well, that was a fun dinner.
Well, I had to look up pictures of spiders for a thing, and I found a gif of a spider that had basically an ass made of other spiders. And I really didn't
yeah.
Oh, I know about that.
Oh yeah, that one.
I know about that one. The what is
Wolf
it called?
spider.
I don't know what it's called. I don't want to know what it's called.
I do believe it's called the, interestingly enough, blacksmith spider or something like that.
That's weird.
Basically, it kills other spiders and uses their bodies as an armor.
No, the other spiders were crawling around on it though, so I think it was like a mom with baby
Yeah,
spiders.
that's
Yeah, that's the wolf spider.
Wolf spiders
That's-
are gay. That's gay.
I think that's a wolf spider.
disgusting. That's degenerate. We need to burn those. Honestly,
I
I don't
mean-
care about the ecosystem. Can we just get rid of some of these things?
It's the same question as with mosquitoes. Unless
You know what?
The
You know
answer
what?
is no.
There is one bug which I think we could get rid of without any consequences too bad. Like, let's get rid of ticks. Fuck them. Everything that eats ticks can eat other shit.
some of them literally can't, unless.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Tick predators. Let's one down.
did you just say tick printers?
Predators.
Oh, good. You don't want to print those
Anyways,
things.
I'll be
birds.
back. I'll be back in a moment. I need to visit.
Spiders and birds can eat more than ticks, I'm sure.
Apparently, wild turkeys, increasing in number, have become like they are actually depleting tick numbers.
What the fuck? I love turkeys now.
Turkey death squads.
As opposed to the usual Turkish ones.
Armenian noises and distance.
What curds?
Do you think my Spanish teacher would appreciate it if I said "No me gusta libtards" in my presentation?
I feel like they probably take exception. What's Spanish for build a wall?
Fuck, I don't even... Something...
Mexico's
What's a
got one.
wall? I can't fucking remember what a wall's...
The Mexicans famously have no word for wall.
Is that one of the southern border then?
Which one?
Right, I have returned. So, forgive us, chat. We're gonna go into some fluffy stuff, which is why I've saved it till the end. Well, not fluffy. What's the term for mechanics?
The
Crunch.
end of things.
What?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go into some crunch stuff. So that's why I've saved it till towards the end of this episode. If people need to duck out, we are gonna go over the compacts mechanics in Black Crusade, which is how you set up adventures and rewards and so forth. So, compacts have 3 different sizes: undertakings, operations, and enterprise, which go up in gradients. So one's a small one, one's a medium one, one's a large one. Ooh, this will be an undertaking.
Back.
Alright, cool. Just in time. So, an undertaking can take as little as a few weeks to a few months and grants 3 infamy from completion. I will be tweaking this. I'm probably going to award like 5 infamy or something for the completion of this one. Undertakings are typically something relatively straightforward, such as the assassination of a military officer or the corruption of a hive overseer. So, repairing your ship is probably
yes.
the smallest one, I would say.
Relatively straightforward.
Yes. I love how it's like corrupt a hive overseer as well. To straightforward.
Well, I think the idea is the broad strokes goal.
I still like the fact, though, relatively straightforward. Assassinate a government official.
It says high-ranking military officer, which is.
Well,
Jesus.
assassinating them is the easy part. Surviving the aftermath is the very much the more difficult part.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
So I'm not gonna read out every fucking thing. I'm just gonna breeze over the main points. So, preparing a compact. First of all, we need to convene. So one of the PCs and NPC, the GM, will make the call to convene. In this case, it is the GM that calls you to convene. Once assembled, define the primary and secondary objectives and elect the anointed. Okay, now we choose the anointed. This is the poor, sad faggot that has to do all the bookkeeping and basically takes charge of the operation to ensure that it's done. Does anyone want to volunteer for this? There are a number of ways it can be chosen, of course, but it's
The
ultimately
task is what?
the
Doesn't
primary
say that in character
objective.
would be unrealistic, so...
The primary objective of the compact is to repair the Red Sun. And I've given you the 3 secondary objectives that need to be completed, basically, to fulfill this.
Right.
Seems like.
Wait,
a
so are we like
job.
splitting up into different groups?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
nope, you're all one group still. It's just you need to pick someone who is the anointed, who is... Make sure the group is basically well suited to be the leader or the primary mover of the compact, and his responsibilities include making command decisions, making sure the compact stays on track. So you appoint a figurehead basically to make sure the task is done.
I can do that. if you
I.
want.
So, as a group, we appoint one.
You point one anointed, so.
Yeah,
The
I'd
anointed
vote,
is-
I would vote for Skog. He's head of logistics after all.
That does seem a good choice, because Skog is also your best tech character at the minute, so it's in his interest to ensure the ship is repaired as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I would also
I'll-
vote Skog, unless somebody's going to get some.
I think Skog as well.
Alright, cool.
Skog, are you okay with this?
Yeah.
Yeet.
Okay, Ursula is the anointed of the compact. Now, if you study your, go over to your journal on Roll20, I have made a compact of the gang token, which is a handout token. You can all fill in as much as you want, just to leave objectives and stuff on. So,
Alright.
any of you feel free to start editing it on personal notes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we turn to muster resources. With their own contacts and specialties, each PC will bring something different to the table. When the group musters resources, they essentially pledge some sort of resource. I don't think it really applies to this particular compact, because you're all basically just using whatever you have with you to accomplish these 3 tasks, pretty much missions, so I think we can skip over that. This is the fun one. Dedicate the compact. PCs have the option of dedicating a compact to either Chaos as a whole or one of the specific Chaos gods. While not required, doing so will bring some sort of bonus to the compact, but always with some sort of complication, stipulation, or penalty for failure.
Well, just because in character, just because of the character I'm playing at the moment for the purpose of this compact, he will vote Corn.
Same.
I wouldn't mind doing it for Corn, given that we're, you know, kind of getting ready to start the big ass crusade and everything. Kind of makes sense.
Why not? For Korn and for Nero.
I mean, in character, I don't necessarily like Korn, but I like his teachings
Voss
and
and
philosophy.
Ursula. Do you have a
I
particular
have no
preference?
strong feelings.
Okay.
Would personally have gone with Undivided, but that's just me.
So you two would have probably gone with more Undivided. So we've got about 3 to Corn, 2 to Undivided. I'll say it's an Undivided compact, but there is a strong Corn thrust towards what you're trying to do. So
Yeet.
Corn may take
enough.
interest in it.
Blood gang.
Because it also makes more
Blood
sense
gang,
for it to be
blood
Undivided,
way.
because it's a group goal rather than a glory goal, so to speak.
Non-committal Corn gang.
Yes.
Yes.
Partial Korn gang.
Part-time Korn gang.
Part-time corners.
Alright. Any of you who's editing the compact of the gang, please fill out primary objective, repair the red sun or whatever.
Who is editing right now?
All of you
Or
can
is
edit
nobody
it,
editing
so
right now?
just whoever wants to do it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if somebody else was editing it now, and if like trying to edit it would cancel it out.
The compact of the gang.
Okay. I
And-
am Marie.
What should we write?
Just anywhere in the notes, just put primary objective, repair the red sun for now, I'd say.
It's over.
I
here.
will write
Grant
Red
is already
Sun.
in.
Is it already in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Secondary objectives. 1.
I'll write it.
Investigate the farm. I'll make this very simple and broad for you for the objectives. Investigate the farm, restart the power generators or whatever.
So investigate the farm and restart the power generator.
Yeah, at the farm, basically.
On the farm?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Secondary secondary objective 2. Find rare crystal in the mine for the Geller Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Then the third objective.
Fields. Yeah.
Infiltrate Mechanicum outpost and find components for engine.
Locate engine parts.
Yeah. Here's where we get the interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Personal or territory object. Territory. Territory or some shit. I can't pronounce that very well.
Tertiary objective.
Tertiary object. Yeah.
Tertiary.
Each player will choose a tertiary or personal objective that is related to the completion of the primary objective and known only to themselves and the GM. This may or may not conflict with those of other players and sets the stage for inter-party conflict and role-playing opportunities. So I'm going to say we can set aside that for now, and then in downtime off stream you can DM me or chat with me about ideas if any of you want to do stuff like that, because that may potentially gain you more personal infamy and stuff if you complete it.
I don't really know what I would use as a personal objective or anything.
You don't have to take them, I will say, and I may flavor a few things. Like, if you don't want to be all like PvP gang or whatever, you can kind of flavor it more in ways that support the group, but it's something you keep secret from the others for whatever reason.
Am I required to keep it secret?
It depends what it is, I would say.
Okay.
But we can probably, I would say, talk more about this after the stream. So.
Okay.
And then finally, complications. Complications reflect the fickle nature of chaos. Each compact will have one complication that can either be chosen by the GM or determined randomly. Typical complications involve treachery, interference, and bad intelligence, so that's something for me to worry about mostly. Now, the rest of the book is mostly coming up with flavor and suggestions for how to fulfill these parts of the compact, like Duty of the Anointed. So if everyone's at like a bit of a standoff, the Anointed can make an executive decision, basically, which is GOG, if either of you have any arguments about to proceed. And responsibility lies with superiors, allies, and other stuff. Okay. Dedication to the gods. Objectives. Alright, these are all the complications and stuff. Okay, I think the final thing we need to determine, really, is just the rewards for this. If you don't mind, Gren, could you write 5 in for me upon completion?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll determine the XP and stuff on my own, that'll be fine. And I'll also determine complications, and we'll deal with personal objectives and so forth off air.
Alright.
Right. I think after all that, we are ready to proceed if you want to continue the feast a little bit, and then I'll probably end it shortly after that.
Sure.
The compact's planned out somewhat. So yeah, Trax basically, upon you discussing some stuff about details about the plan, he's all like, I'm starting to like you, Lord Nulla. I propose
enjoy your
another
company.
toast to your health, to the health of us Legiones Astartes, and the lost and damned who fight the tyranny of the Imperium. Iron
Who needs
within.
health if you
I'm there.
Yeets.
sorry.
And
Civ
everyone
was
takes another
destroyed.
fucking drink.
But first, Civ is going to say, "Who needs health if you got Miracle?" Before he sips.
There's
The big
there's
sip.
some laughter among a few of the Iron Warriors at the table at this.
For the glory of chaos, and to the death of the corpse emperor.
Once again, Trax is called one of the lads goes down well.
Now then, I suppose I'll be looking forward to working together.
Indeed, this ought to go on without a hitch.
Not really, but we have to do it.
Laughs in libertarian.
Excellent.
Drinks and concern.
Chuckles in corn. Flakes.
Oof.
Oh yeah, Stu.
Names.
Yeah.
After this feast, would I be able to potentially procure myself the cybernetics I mentioned earlier?
Which
before the
ones?
session? The blade tines.
If you wish to excuse yourself from the feast to go procure some cybernetics, sure.
Excuse me, everyone. I have some business to attend to.
Alright.
I shall walk off.
Okay, then.
Oof. Alright, Han. Let's look at the infamy table.
So this, the mental image of this goes into the administrative department, turns on the paper shredder, disables the safety mechanism. Now they'll have to give me metal hands. Punches directly into the paper shredder.
Okay.
It looks rather bloody.
Blade times.
Might I get a bonus to that for being an ancient warrior?
I'll give you a +10 for being an ancient dude. Where the fuck are blade times? Blade tines are rare. You want one of them. That's neutral. +10. Make a +10 infamy check, please. You can roll a commerce to make it easier if you have that.
I do not have commerce.
Well, tough shit, son.
Although my intelligence is a bit higher than my ancient.
You can try and roll commerce, but you can try to barter your way through some of the people in the keep that might install some cybernetics in you. Some of the medbay people.
Alright. Would I get a bonus to that if I were to show them my true form?
Here's the thing. Most of the people in the Citadel know your true form.
Alright.
Because you've come back from a lot of battles and shit a bit scarred, so they've kind of known what you look like.
Yeah, nah.
You try to persuade them, like, oh, but son, I really need these blade tines to be cool, shit. And they're just like, nah, fam, you really don't really need these things. But you can try your infamy roll nonetheless at +10. Alright.
Yeah.
Not just no, also fuck yourself.
People
Yeah.
don't take too kindly to the execution.
The doctors are just like, look, Ron. I know you're a busy guy and everything, but we're also busy people. What are you doing here? You're not hurt.
As they look to the shattered remains of their paper shredder, also you're fixing that.
Oof.
Just imagining them saying that.
I mean, he can't bring in too many corpses because that's literally a job.
Still,
yeah.
Also,
he can be too efficient for their taste.
Also, after seeing that everyone is enjoying their drink and not really joining too much into the festivities himself, Shua, with his constant smile, is just going to slowly stand up from the table and say, "Well, when you need me, please do call." And he'll start to leave.
Will do.
But as he leaves, just a small funny thing. Voss?
How did I know that anything that began with just a small funny thing was going to end with me being the target of it? Do tell.
Well, it's mainly because she kind of respects you the most. You hear the sound of a very tired and pained groan suddenly appears in your head.
Hear
Degeneracy.
Is that
You hear a
fucking
tick-
Johanna? Oof.
You hear a ticking sound coming from the back of your head. What could this mean?
Voss.
I think very loudly. What?
I don't know where I am.
I think once into myself, then what fucking chance have I got of knowing? Describe your surroundings.
It's a building inside, I think.
Are there any windows or similar?
Yeah. Hold on.
Thanks to the other side of his brain, we're getting there slowly but surely.
She, after a moment, she says, there's a window.
Is there anything outside the window?
Sky.
Oof.
Any particular landmarks in that sky? Like fucking teeth.
How to
Reading
be
tea
vague.
leaves.
Recess.
I can see a very big building. It's got like spire, and she basically goes on to describe the Citadel.
Okay, so you're not within the Citadel. You're definitely around the outside of it. I'm just gonna crunch numbers, bring up a little map thing, just trace it, and slowly try and figure. Also, I must stress my character has no like actual knowledge of. He's shit at orienteering. He's got no like. Oh, what's the word of it?
Navigation.
He has operate. He does not have navigate.
Okay. One of the Iron Warriors drunkenly kind of comes over to you. Voss sees you like trying to figure out the map, and he's like, "Need I help with that?"
Oh, sure. I'm always willing to confer.
Yeah, give it here.
I'm just gonna draw a kind of a rough sketch of what landmarks have been described.
Despite being a little tipsy off his ass, although he's still in a start, he's not quite super tipsy. Kind of like, yeah, that should be what you're looking for, and he just points to a basically a bunch of buildings kind of off in the inner city, but not too far away from the Citadel, by a district away.
No, thank you. No worries. I think to myself,
There's a bunch of
I-
bodies here. I think they're still alive. No, not this one. I think he overdosed.
is he still fizzing or is he cold?
Hold on. He's cold.
Yeah, that one's a lost cause. Right. I think I've got a rough idea of where you are. I'll send some crew to pick you up.
Thank you.
Hey boss. Hey boss, why are you talking to yourself, man?
I think I've located our psycho.
Damn it.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah, don't worry.
were drunk.
I'll intentionally put our pickup crew like a couple of minutes off.
Alright.
Done the drive them. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly vox the crew. Guys, I've located Johanna. Here are the coordinates. Drive her around the city for a while. Nice big long circuitous routes.
Okay,
Sober up
maybe
a
get
wee
her-
bit.
Maybe get her a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah, she's gonna be hungover as fuck. Do not. If you can just black bag her as quickly and as efficiently as possible, that would be fantastic.
Jimmy responds in the comm like, "Hey, no worries, lad. I'll get some of the boys and we'll go pick her up."
We don't want a drunk psyker. Oh no.
First Officer Dillard is trying, I swear.
Also, she's at some kind of cult hideout, so gank whatever goods you can.
Hey, no bother. Irish
She didn't
mafia
really try to set-
intensifies.
We're hoping to come out of this with more obscure than what we went in with.
I mean, she didn't really focus on sending you images, but you got a couple flashes of like massive amounts of space cocaine.
Oh, there's a fuckload of coke there. You should grab that.
Already on it, lad.
For a while.
Just go in with like Ghostbuster vacuums and start.
So cool.
God, no, could you imagine like 500 coked out fucking more than a couple psychers and cultists, and they're all hungover, and then you turn on a vacuum cleaner?
Oh god.
It would be like someone flash banging the fucking room.
Why would you turn on a vacuum cleaner when fucking Johanna is going to react like a fucking cat would, especially when she's hungover?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If she runs away and get lost, then we won't have to deal with her. So I mean,
Send in our stealthiest pikeys, bag everything that's worth anything, and the psychic.
Nonetheless, the more you try to ignore her, the stronger the telepathic messages are gonna be.
I want to point out,
probably true.
this message got through to Voss, despite the fact he's wearing an anti-psycho suit.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Telepathy
forgotten
is
that
selective
Johanna-
like that.
Have you forgotten that Johanna is the psyker that managed to win over a fucking Lord of Change?
It's probably why
Have you-
I should given so much coke.
Have you forgotten that despite the fact that Johanna is a fucking useless druggie, she is an incredibly potent psyker?
unfortunately, I have not forgotten that.
Alright.
That's why I had you picked up and not shot.
So, gentlemen, would any of you like to do anything specific before I think I'll close this off and we'll do this as off air time?
Could I use an infamy point to re-roll the infamy check?
The one at plus 10. Yeah. Give
It
a
just
go.
works
Why,
like in,
why the
Dark
fuck not?
Heresy, though. Probably gonna fail this one as well. But
I gotta be right back.
You've got almost a 50. It's almost a 50-50, so.
Oh, okay.
finally.
So, with a weird quirk of fate, as the blood god kind of blesses your attempts to persuade the doctors just kind of eventually give up, and they're just like, fine, whatever, Ron, just fucking put yourself on the table. And they
I
wheel
just
over some
muttered to
medical
myself, rip and tear.
they
Time
wheel
to
over a
fire
few
up the
medical
van, so-
servitors, and they put you in
Maybe-
for surgery
maybe
for
the-
the night.
Guess I'll
Maybe the
just turn off
doctors-
my illusion for now.
Maybe the doctors just so happen to forget to give you the pain relievers.
It's fine. I've got my own.
I'm gonna say, because that's a fairly decent roll with 2 degrees success, Siler Winter, having been fairly not tipsy from the party because of his multiple biomechanical augments, heads over to the med bay and sees you, Ron, and is like, hell, you wish to undergo procedure right after a feast, I see.
Indeed.
Very well, hold on, let me assist you. And he's gonna roll.
Watch him crit fail this one.
Oh, no, no, no,
What do you mean I amputated the wrong arm? Fuck.
no.
Despite being a little tipsy, but not as tipsy as some, he succeeds very, very well. And installs some good quality blade tines into your hands, which I will stat for you after the game.
Haravint, Siler Winter, a nigga so real he can just walk into a random med bay and everyone immediately gives him command.
Oh yeah. He has a strange charisma about him, Siler Winter.
Despite the fact that he doesn't have any skin.
Oh yeah. Or at
Oh,
least
you've got
yes.
to be a serious guy. It's like, oh, what will we replace on you first? All of my skin.
Just nigga, calm down. Oh Jesus Christ.
That isn't even the right
Jesus
word.
fucking
Why would you do
Christ.
this? Skin.
Oh yeah.
He just goes like, aesthetics.
Okay. So, Thumper, would you like to do anything particular?
Civ, you mean?
Ziv,
Or-
yeah.
At the moment, not anything particular.
I guess you're just drinking yourself into oblivion, like with some of the other Arn Wars.
Yeah, more or less.
Good stuff.
At
This
best, you might-
happens to you. How
What?
did this happen to me?
Oh no!
You pass out, along with your Arm Warrior buddy that was helping Voss earlier. Oh.
Well, good thing he has a friend.
This is like the
Fine.
first time in months these Iron Warriors have been given the
Oh yeah.
Space Marine alcohol.
Oh yeah, like this was
They're
a special
digging in.
occasion because, you know, Ritualist character was around, so yeah. Voss Balor.
Cyclops lives.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything in particular before we head out?
I'll sit back, relax, and I'll nurse this cat a can of beer, and occasionally I'll just flip to my Vox rig and just inform the crew as to what to steal as they cruise through the cult hideout like a SWAT team.
Alright. Make
Back
a
up that coke.
make a toughness check at plus 20 because you haven't been drinking super hard.
Okay.
Yeah, you managed to keep yourself pretty okay throughout. You're talking to the crew, and you managed to stay awake throughout most of the feast as it dwindles to a close. Skog, would you like to do anything before we close off?
No, I'm pretty set on presumably looking over some charts of where this place is and any information they've got.
How much are you drinking? If
Not
any?
much.
Not much.
I'm technically a medic. I'm therefore the responsible adult.
All right. Okay, Nala. Would you like to do anything? Suppose Nullis is not here with us. Marines. In case you're wondering, Sergeant Zhang manages to stay awake through her drinking. I guess Nullis is not here, so fuck it. Anything you guys would like to do very quickly before I close this out? Alright.
Okay. One last thing I'll say is just a final vox message to the crew who are sweeping through that cult hideout. Whilst you're there, could always use a bit more fodder. Grab anyone who looks particularly sturdy.
You got it, lad. They confirm your orders.
You hear in the back. You hear in the background of the Vox as Johanna's being carried off. Thanks, Vas.
No problem. Make sure you keep her drunk tank separate from the others.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this stream. I hope you enjoyed this. We shall hopefully be resuming soon. I think this will probably go to a Wednesday time slot for the future. We'll probably negotiate some shared time slots or whatever with some other people. Maybe swap some stuff around because I'll be working on Mondays in the near future, so I'll have a bit of a switcheroo. And I'll also be drawing up some more assets and stuff before we carry on, so you probably won't see this next week, but hopefully soon. I hope you've all enjoyed the stream as it's been. Anyone have any final thoughts?
Mace of Morlock Ball.
All we need is blankets.
I'm looking forward to Farming Simulator 2019.
There's no problem that can't be solved by stealing more people.
Until it is just.
Johanna didn't suck anyone off this time.
At least not on screen.
At
Regardless.
least not on screen.
Hope you all enjoyed and have a good one. See you soon, folks. Bye for now.